my beautiful people, it's your girl Iguana TV, and today we have a special video. I'm doing an ombre colorful set. I'm super duper excited. Ombre is like my favorite to do, and yeah, I'm so excited to be integrating the nail side of my life into my channel. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So today I'm going to be using my red iguana hand as well as some full bed tips. These full bed tips that you can use for like press-on nails I got off of Amazon, and today I'm going to just be double tipping them. So before I go ahead and double tip my tips, I'm making sure that I take my file and I'm just buffing the shine off. And right now I'm taking some Young Nails glue to use for my tips. These tips I believe that I purchased from my local nail supply store. If this was a real person, I would not be taking the Young Nails brush on glue onto that natural nail, but since this is an artificial nail, I don't really think it makes a difference. So yeah, so as you see, I double tipped everything and I'm showing you my Young Nails bottle. So right now I'm just going to cut the number off the tips because I do not want them extremely long, but I don't want them short. So yeah. And if you ever get like glue stuck on your scissors, just take a file and you can just file that off. That's what happened to me. So yeah, now we're just cutting them down, making sure everything matches. If you do get a red iguana hand, I would definitely recommend to get the little holder because your girl is struggling, okay? So right now I'm taking my e-file and we are just going to go ahead and blend the tip. When you are doing this on a real person, you want to make sure that you are not blending. You're not going over the person's natural nail. You're just going over the artificial tip. Especially when this is a real person, you don't want to damage their real nails. But since this is a fake person with fake tips, tips as their nail beds, I'm taking the e-file and I'm just going over the whole nail as well to remove the shine. But like I said, if this was a real person, I would not be doing this because I already prepped the nail for the tips. But this is not a real person. So yeah. So that's why. But again, if this was a real person, I would only be taking my e-file where the smile line meets from the tip and the natural nail. So now I'm just filing the tips of the nails to make them equal and even. So now we're going in with my IGel Beauty. Not really sure the name. It'll be linked down below. So when you are doing ombre, you kind of want to take more wetter beads and smaller beads. And the reason why we're doing this is just because we're going to go over the nail with clear acrylic anyway, so you really don't need to build up a nail in itself. And that's like the easiest way for your colored acrylic to run out because you're taking extremely big beads when you don't have to. And IGel Beauty's acrylic is very, very pigmented, so I really didn't need to add like a whole bunch of balls anyway. Yeah, so we're just dipping the product in. I'm doing like a good 2 taps to get the monomer off, and then I'm just doing like, I'm holding the acrylic in there for like 2 seconds. I'm so sorry for this camera angle. I am trying, okay? I'm trying. Don't judge me, all right? We will do better next time as far as nail videos. But with ombre, I'm only taking the colored acrylic to the middle of the nail. I don't like to do like you want to do the colored acrylic first. You want to lay that down before you do anything. You don't want to take like the nude first and then try to do the color because it's not going to work. see, yeah, now I'm going to go in with this purple that I purchased from my local nail supply store. There's nothing special about it. This was probably the only shade that like laid perfectly. It did what it was supposed to do. Only thing that I did not like, that I did not really blend that purple into where it was supposed to be blended. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. It's really hard to explain doing nails because, yeah. So now I'm going to take my Harmony Cover Pink that I got from, where did I get this pink from? I got it from a nail show when I was in nail school. And we are just going to take this where the cuticle meets, and then when it's time to start, blending it into the pink, we're going to take a more wetter bead. This is how you get that nice ombre shade without completely covering it. You don't want to take a dry bead because then you're going to have a hot mess and it's going to look crazy. So right now you see that I'm taking a very wet bead and I'm just taking the acrylic and blending it into the hot pink. And you don't want to build up too much of a nail because, again, we're going over this with clear. So, again, I'm doing the same thing for the yellow. I'm not taking too much of the acrylic just because, again, we're going over it with clear. You want to clean up your cuticle area. We're doing the same thing. Monomer is going to be your best friend when you're doing ombre nails because you want to just make that every colored bead a little bit more wet than normal. Not soaking wet where it's like dripping everywhere and you're having a hard time, but wet to the point where it can move easily. It can glide across the nail and across the cover, or the base color that you plan on using. So my green nail was really playing with me today. It was the hardest to blend, but that's all right. We're still gonna make it look nice and clean. So if you ever put too much of the cover color, you can always just take a little bit of monomer before it dries and just kind of wipe it off a little bit. So the reason if you saw me pat it on the paper towel was just because I had too much liquid for the base, near the cuticle area, and I didn't want it to drip everywhere. And we're just going to blend that into the purple, and that's on wet, period. So now we're going in with Core Clear from Young Nails because Young Nails is life and will forever be life. And what I like to do, we're just going to take a good 2 beads and go over the nail. We're not taking extremely large beads because, of course, we already have acrylic on our nails. But when you're near the cuticle, you're just going to pat that acrylic in. I would do a later video on how to really lay acrylic. Today was just showing you guys how I do things, but on a later video I will thoroughly explain how we're laying acrylic. I already have a video up that's about, I have a video that's coming soon that will talk about how I prep my nails and stuff, but later on I would do an in-depth video on how to lay acrylic and how it should be laid. So yeah, we're just taking not too large beads. I like to start in the middle of the nail because that's where I want to protect the ombre. The reason we lay a clear coat of acrylic over top of the color is so when you go to file, you're not filing over the ombre. That was my major issue when I first started doing nails and I attempted ombre. I did not cap it with acrylic, clear acrylic, and I would file off the ombre and I would be so upset because it looks so nice, but now it's not working because my dumb self filed away the acrylic. So now we're just filing. To keep my shape, I like to go up and down with the file. I try to keep it straight as possible just so you know you're not adding any extra curve to it. This hand was so hard to work with because I did not have my clamp. I would definitely recommend getting the clamp if you decide to get a red iguana hand. So right now I am beveling my file. When I do this, I'm making sure that the surface is smooth and everything is starting to blend all over the nail. One thing I cannot stand is when people's nails look extremely square and boxy. Yes, you want to keep your shape, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you have a natural looking nail. And that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just taking the file and I'm like kind of swiping over the whole nail just to get rid of that very boxy shape. And again, I will have a separate video on what I mean by beveling. I'll probably do a video on how to file properly. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I did this all over. Like right now I'm beveling. And what I like to do is take my finger over the whole nail just to see if there's any bumps before moving on. And I do this with clients. I do this with myself. And I ended up switching files because that file was blowing me. And yeah, as you can see, the tips are like flailing everywhere. So I don't know. I like the hand. It looks very realistic for pictures, but I would probably need to purchase a few more accessories to make it like work and not get frustrated when I'm trying to do everything. So yeah, that's all we're pretty much doing. You just want to make sure that you're working on how you lay your acrylic, so when the time comes to filing, you don't have to do too much work. So right now I'm just buffing the nails. This makes sure that you don't like scratch yourself and you end up bleeding. So yeah, make sure that you buff your nails. That was a major mistake when I first started doing nails. And I'm just taking my top coat. I found this on Amazon. Again, everything that I use will be linked down below. And we cured that baby for about 60 seconds. I ended up adding some rhinestones. Very simple. So guys, this is the end of the video. I truly hope you enjoyed watching me work a little bit, watching me practice. This was super fun to do. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I just said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any video ideas as far as nail looks, if you want to see anything, any requests, just please let me know. You can comment down below, or you can message me on Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, like I said, because I said. That's what I said, right? So once this video goes off, go go subscribe. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, bye. Guys, bye.